Well, Roseanne and David, thanks so much for agreeing to meet with me for Voices of Community Erath County Oral History Project. I want to start off by asking each one of you to introduce yourselves and to share a little bit about where you grew up. Can we start with you, Roseanne?
Okay. I am Roseanne Kincannon. I was born in Stephenville, actually, but never really lived here. By fifth grade, I'd been in 5 schools. We moved a lot. But I finished 5 through graduation from high school in Dallas. I went to North Dallas High School. And then I also had been to Tarleton was my 5th university. So I finally got a BA in Tarleton in English and communication, speech at the time. And then I have the first master's degree from Tarleton in English. Ended up marrying David, and after that is mostly when I taught at Tarleton. And had 2 of my sons here. My first son was born in Houston. Let's see.
But her family's been here.
My family has been here. My grandmother,
They're buried all over the
grandparents.
place.
Yeah.
Right.
And so been coming to Stephenville all my life. And then after we married, yesterday was our anniversary, 51 years. So I've been here a long time.
David?
Well, I was born in Abilene, Texas. We moved here to Morgan Mill in 1955. My grandfather was trying to get my mother close by, so that's what brought us to Erath County. And went to school in Morgan Mill, 5th through the 8th grade, Stephenville High School, Tarleton. ROTC, served military, came back here in '72, and I've been doing this ever since.
And what year were y'all married?
1975.
Okay. So
April the 26th, as a matter of
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So after you came back to Tarleton after your military service,
fact. I was here.
y'all were married.
Yep. No, I was trying to get a date with one of her friends. She didn't want to go out with me, so she forked Roseanne off on me. So that's how it works. Thanks, Inez.
And she was a librarian, and we'd been friends for years.
And she dated one of my buddies, one of my roommates, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Anyway, we were having lunch one day, and I said, "Oh my gosh," I had a son by then, and I was still teaching junior college in Dallas and driving back and forth. And I said, I'll wake up after 10 o'clock driving home from Dallas to Stephenville, and I'd hit gravel on the side of the road and wake myself back up. Mm-hmm. So that scared me, and I said, I really, really need some insurance. So if something happens to me, my parents would have some money to raise my child. So she said, well, call David. And so I got around to it. Next time I hit the gravel coming back at 10 o'clock at night, I hit the gravel. So I finally called him, and I told him I don't have any money. I mean, I'm working part-time at a junior college and trying to get my teaching certificate for public school, which...
Yeah, I think she paid 1 premium on that policy. 1 premium. And it finally ran out.
I'd come back to Stephenville to get a teacher's certificate because I hadn't done that. I had my bachelor's and my master's, and I taught at Tarleton, and I was teaching at the junior college in Dallas, and you don't have to have a teacher's certificate for that. That isn't what I wanted to do, but I thought, well, maybe I better. Mm-hmm. So I did, and I thought, if God hates me, he will make me teach public school. So far, so good.
Right. Talk about, you get married in 1975.
Mm-hmm.
What was life in Stephenville, Morgan Mill, Erath County like in 1975 or the early 1970s?
We ate a lot of beans, I'll say that.
His agency wasn't very big, didn't make any difference. When you're poor, you don't know it. And then later, when you're not quite so poor, then you think back and how did we do that? But anyway, I moved to Morgan Mill, which was very rural for me, because I'd already moved back to Dallas, and planned
She'd
to
buy
be
a pot
there.
plant. She wanted a pot plant with flowers on it already. You didn't plant a seed.
I'd been through my plant period. Anyway, it was an adjustment, and it was not an unpleasant one. They in Morgan Mill, they still had on the telephone
Party line.
party lines, and I didn't really understand how that worked.
Oh God.
And he was embarrassed several times when his grandmother would listen into our conversations, and the old lady up the road would listen
Percy
in.
Williams.
Yeah.
You could tell my grandmother's listening because she was on the highway and you hear cars drive by every once in a while. And you could tell if Ursie was on the phone because she'd be chewing her bubble gum.
So tell me about how the party line worked.
Oh gosh, well,
Good.
I really didn't understand it. I thought it was,
We were 3 shorts, I think, weren't we? What it was,
I don't know.
Like you'd have the phone would ring one long ring. Well, that was one long. If that was yours, you picked it up. Or you'd pick it up on anybody. You knew somebody was getting a call. And then you'd have a short and a long, or a long and a short. In other words, combination, sort of like Morse code. So you listened for your ring.
nobody ever told me that. And I thought it only went one way, like if he called me, then we weren't on the party line. But if I'm in Morgan Mill calling him, I would be on the party line. But that's not the way it worked. So I would go into pretty graphic detail about what we were going to do when we got home and all of that. And so then he told me that we were on not that kind of a party line.
It was not party. It was a party line.
Well, what kind of activities? Not those activities.
No, we can't talk about that.
What kind of work or activities kept y'all busy during those, during the 70s and then in the 80s? So take us through what there was to do around here.
Well, we were active in our church, and that was kind of rough on the morning after we got married. We got married on a Saturday night, and cheap champagne hangover, and we're teaching Sunday school. That's an experience you really don't want, especially with some of the kids we have, most of whom have PhDs now.
We went to Morgan Mill ball games when my son was in 5th grade, then 4th grade, and our activities were mostly we didn't do that much except we worked a lot. And I drove back and forth to teach night school for 2 or 3 years, I think. And I taught 3 out of 4 of the junior colleges in Dallas, so that kept me busy. And I don't know. We didn't go to movies a lot. We had symphony, Fort Worth Symphony season tickets, and we didn't really do that much at Tarleton. There wasn't that much to do back then. It was a very 2,000 students, way back then. So no basketball. We go to football games and things like that. And then after we'd been married 3.5 years, we had our first child, and things picked up. Do things at home, and just housework. We had gardens. I'd never had a garden before like that, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the yard work. I enjoyed the flower beds. I enjoyed everything.
Yeah, one year we planted 2 rows of jalapeno peppers. Had a little cedar that dropped seeds out about every 6-8 inches, and these rows were 210 feet long, and the plants got up about so tall and turned to peppers. And we'd come up to somebody's house, they'd turn the lights off. They didn't want any peppers.
Any more peppers? How many pecan trees did we plant across the
There
road?
was 5 acres of them, every 50 feet. We finally
And
plowed that
irrigated
under, and finally plowed that under.
Yeah. So, and we didn't have tractors or.
We had a little 8N Ford that bought off my grandfather. Yeah.
And at this point, you had the insurance.
Oh yeah. That's full time.
Were you right here?
No. We started off over where the Shell station is on the South Loop, there across from the airline station and the funeral home. That was an office building at the time, and we rented over there.
Okay.
And then we moved to Lillian Street. We moved over here in 1978.
Okay. So you're working, Roseanne, you're working, moving or doing adjunct professor work, or would you call it adjunct work, or would you?
At first, because I didn't want to leave my children. So I said, okay, I'll do a couple of classes, but I'm not going to do office hours because I don't want a babysitter.
Right.
So we did that for a while, and then
She worked in the office too.
Well, yeah, but we found out real fast we
Absence?
can parallel play, but we don't play well together. So working in the office isn't what I wanted to do.
Right.
So,
What places, in all the time you've been here, now this could be back in the 70s, this could be present day, like what are the places that are important to you? Like hangout places around town, maybe when you guys were a younger couple, or even now, right? What places were in Erath County where you went just to recreate those kinds of things?
We'd go to Jake and Dorothy's after a football
after
game.
all football games, especially when our boys grew up and the whole team went after home games. So
It'd be full of parents and kids.
Yeah,
just
and that was
packed.
a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Before that, where did we like to go? We didn't really do that much out in town. He's Optimist Club, so we would do that sort of thing. And our church has always been pretty much the middle of activities for us. We still do that. We've both taught Sunday school. We've both been on vestry. We've both been, involved in our church for a very long time.
So sort of centered around that, in terms of events or traditions, like what are the kinds of events or traditions that you would participate in yearly?
Both of us involved in education. I'm on a school board, have been for a long time, but education's been a big deal to both of us. Trying to plant the seed for these kids coming on. Make sure they get, because that's the future.
Right.
State Farm also, always activities with them, meetings, and then David got his book of business further along, and so we've traveled all over the world, and that's been really fun. We also discovered, even before we got married, we both loved sailing, and so we went through a couple of series of sailboats, and we did that. And then also we both like camping, so we went through a series of camping campers and RVs and cab overs to start with, and
Tents before that.
Yeah, tents. We've done that. Anyway, but one of the draws and one of the miracles of kind of finding each other is we both like the same thing. I didn't know I liked the country. I didn't know that. And my sister's been visiting from Dallas. No way. No, and I loved Dallas when I lived there. I loved my high school. I loved everything. But no more. No more of that.
What about traditions in Erath County? Were there any holiday traditions that, whether in Morgan Mill or here in Stephenville, that you guys participated in? As an observer, not necessarily like in the event.
Oh, well, we always did he was usually in the Tarleton Parade.
Okay.
And I would...
Big band, that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Ultra
and
Club.
he was in the big band dance at Tarleton. It's a fundraiser, basically, for fine arts. And so I was the picture taker at the parades, and then the orchestra widow at the dance. We all the women would sit together, and don't tell anybody at Tarleton, but I had my purse flask at all times so I could endure that.
You gotta do what you
Back-
gotta do.
Recorded, right?
Back
Do what you gotta
then,
do.
you couldn't have liquor on the campus,
Yeah.
but I needed it, so I
And now
made it
it's
just
free.
fine.
Yeah. Well, okay, so in all these years, what's been a couple of the biggest changes that you've seen in the county or in Stephenville?
Or at
Tarleton.
Tarleton, beer's
Sure,
free now.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Beer's free now. It used to be to throw you out.
Yep. And what else is?
There have been a lot of liquor stores have closed around the county lines. You know, like Handy's is gone. Will's doesn't. You know, all these places that we used to have to go for supplies.
Now, Erath used to be dry.
Very
Yes, it
dry.
did.
You had to
Yeah.
go to Proctor. That was
Yeah.
the closest place.
Yeah. That's kind of a joke, you know,
Oh, for
but
sure.
it is. Yeah, the world's changed a lot.
Tarleton's growth, I have sort of wallowed in that. I really, really like that. My department, of course, when I taught English, it was in the building where they are now. And then over the years, the communication department broke away, and we were housed in the Fine Arts Building, which was delightful. Then activities always in the Fine Arts Building. And some of my very best friends were faculty of art, faculty of music, faculty of things that were not a liberal, well, they're liberal art, they're fine art. And so we were really housed in that building, but it was very nice to do that. And then when they added on to the humanities building, well, we were housed in the old Davis Hall, and fourth floor. So, and you could get in the rattly elevator if you dared to take that chance, and you could still smell the athletic smell going up to the fourth floor.
Well, and I lived in Davis Hall, and on the third ramp, right next to the animal ramp. And I made $19 a month to keep that ramp clean.
What do you mean by the animal ramp?
Where her brother lived.
Much football, the athletic,
Ramp,
yeah. So and Charlie Howard, who was then my friend that we taught together, became our department head. We literally moved us. We have a pickup and a trailer, brought it to town, loaded the furniture on it, went over to the supply house, the warehouse on the Tarleton campus, and got extra bookcases and things we didn't have because we had to leave all the good furniture in fine arts. So Charlie and I moved most everything from what was our department then to now. So that was quite an experience.
Wow. So yeah, definitely the growth of Tarleton has been
Oh yeah.
the most significant change,
Yeah.
and the town.
Yeah, and of course my experience with Tarleton goes back to 1964 when I started. And professors that I had, people who were my mentors that I'd go in and sit and visit with, just like this, people like Dick Smith, Aaron Grant, Wentz Fehrenbach, and Suki. You know, Macy's
Well,
Day,
in my
but all these
experience,
people.
yeah, my experience also were Dr. Martin, Dr. Christopher, you know, and oh gosh, in fact, my wedding party, so to speak, was English professor that I'd had, and we were friends. And Alice, well, let's see, what was she going
Joe.
by then?
I
Joe.
don't
But she went by several things when she was here, and I really liked her. Anyway, so
And Bob
my
Walker.
friends, yeah, Dr. Walker, oh, of course.
And the interesting on Dr. Walker, he was a little Mr. Cupid. Both of us went to him and said, "Oh man, what do you?" And he was very kind to both of us.
Yeah,
in our
I did the
absence.
same thing when we met. Like, what's the deal with him? Fill me in, you know. So we both had gone to him, and
Oh, he was
he
living it
okayed
up.
both of us.
He was having a good time.
Well, you mentioned that you'd had a son that was older, and then y'all had children together.
Yeah.
2 more boys.
Gotcha. So when the families combined, what were the traditions that maybe you brought over from your side of the family, right? Your paternal, your mom and your dad, and then David. What were the traditions that you brought from your side of the family and then combined into the Kincannon family? What is that?
Big thing for partying was Christmas.
I brought Christmas. I don't know how his family. His
What?
mother was dead, and I only knew his step grandmother. So I had I knew only what my family did.
Mm-hmm.
And Christmas was a huge deal, so I continued to do that. Birthdays were a huge deal. Quite frankly, David didn't know how to, still doesn't know how to play and vacation and have fun, because all his family did, they only worked. They worked all the time, worked, and he still does that. So I have to really fight for, let's go relax, let's go camping and sleep 2 days. Let's, because my dad played and laughed, and my mother was fun, and we did picnics, and all his family only worked. So that was, and traditions, there were conflicts when he would forget an anniversary or forget a birthday, because those were big deals to me and not to him. And also, we would buy each other different kinds of gifts.
You wanted that weed eater.
He
And it was a
bought-
nice one.
Almost
You
caused a
bumped
divorce.
the bottom of it and the string would come out.
Almost caused a
It was
divorce.
really-
The weed eater did?
Well, you
It
do
was a
not
really
give
nice
me a
one.
gift that is useful. I like pretty things. That's my birthday. It's supposed to be special, not a mixer.
It still is a good mix.
And he didn't understand me giving him what he would call frivolous things, which I thought were beautiful, fun things. So we really had to gee-haw on that and make kind of figure that out.
Sure. So, talk about Christmas. You mentioned that Christmas is a big deal, which you brought into the Kincannon home. What's Christmas all about?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's the birth of Jesus, number one, so it's a big deal at church. And then carried on, I have creches, Madonna, I have all of that. And tried to instill that in my children. We're Episcopalian, and so very, very lots of ritual. And I think both of us like the ritual in our reverent religious activities. We like more ritual than other options.
Yeah,
Sure.
we'd go to church on Christmas Eve, come home, put the boys to bed, and spend the rest of the night putting stuff together.
Yeah, and we had always had I usually have now about 4 or 5 Christmas trees every year.
At least.
Yeah, that's the big ones. And I have every room gets decorated, bathrooms, bedrooms, everything gets decorated. I have a guest bathroom that I fill up with. It's an old timey tub, the old iron tub, whatever it is.
Clawfoot.
Well, oh yeah, real long, luxurious tub to soak in. Anyway, I fill it up with Christmas balls.
Yeah.
And I mean, every room, there's the Santa Claus room, there's the fairy tree, there's the camping tree, there's the redbird tree, there's the traditional tree, there's the Santa Claus tree, there's all, and every room is just packed. I have to pack up my stuff that's usually out to put out all the Christmas stuff. And the fall stuff. Fall is about my favorite.
Wow.
If there's a space, she's going to put something on it.
And we would have, okay, let's go shopping. He hates to shop. I said, okay, we'll make a deal. I'll go shopping. I'll buy all the gifts and wrap them. All you have to do is pay for it. So that's worked out pretty well.
Sure. Well, what did you pass on?
Price to pay.
So your kids are grown.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So with their families, how much of that passed on into their families?
Well, they have, I don't know about that many, don't have that many Christmas trees, but Chase's
had 2
tree's
or 3,
a
yeah.
14-foot tall tree or something
Yeah,
like that.
he has a,
And Marshall they have trees, they have,
he has
A lot
2
of fun.
boys. My middle son has 2 boys. And boy, they have traditions just like us. And his wife brought some also. So they've combined theirs way a lot more than we did. What we have from his family really is the house we live in. And it's been a spectacular house to live in. We've added on to it and just, made it fit the family. And it's very different, which suits both of us.
Sure. Who in the community has influenced y'all as mentors, or you mentioned some, David,
Oh yeah,
right, on
well,
the university?
there have been people all over the place who've been mentors, who've been friends, who've supported us, who've loved us no matter how bad we screwed up stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's,
Now, most of those folks that you mentioned earlier were university based, correct?
they were, yeah,
Yeah.
but there are others, you know, like the Keys, they're
Mm-hmm.
good, you know, good friends.
Yeah, when people really started moving into Morgan Mill, I really didn't know anybody, and I really still don't know many people in Morgan Mill.
Me too.
If they didn't go to the Morgan Mill school, I didn't know them because my life was at Tarleton, and my social life was a lot Tarleton. And then when the other people who were retiring moved in, then we've had tons of friends from Morgan Mill. We had a Morgan Mill dinner club. We've had a Stephenville dinner club. And lots of friends that we used to get a limo and go to Fort Worth for our dinner club. And
Wow.
then there was another one when we would each cook a different time for each other. So townspeople have been our friends. Morgan Mill people have been our friends, and church people have been our friends, and many times overlapped.
Mm-hmm.
So
And we have things at Morgan Mill. We'll have now at the school. The last day of school, we have a big blowout, and then we cook hot dogs for everybody, hamburgers, hot dogs. Every second Saturday at the community center, we have a community breakfast that's free, although you can leave a donation if you want. But there are a lot of activities. The interesting thing about, and I'll throw this in for a Morgan Mill commercial, Chamber of Commerce deal, it was people who came there originally settled there because there wasn't anything left. Okay, it's pretty well farmed out. Anyway, and those people stayed around, their kids stayed around. Well, it was just kind of backwater. You'd say, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Morgan Mill. I could have come from the moon, you know. Really? And you tell people this. Okay, the people she's talking about who started retiring and moving in, they came in. The old folks who were there said, "Oh, you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome. It's so good. Come in, have a glass of tea. Tell me about yourself." They had got a warm welcome, okay? Somebody else moves in, and those people say, "Come in here. Tell us about yourself. Have a glass of tea. Talk to me." And the community became a warm and friendly
Sure.
place because of the old folks who'd been there.
Yeah. And do you feel like the community is like that now? Do you see yourself in the role that they were in from before?
Sure.
mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you're old. I'm just
Better not.
So talk to me about the moments in your life that stand out the most. If you could pick a couple of moments that just are the banner moments of your lives, like what would you say that they are?
Well, when we got married,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had a lot of moments traveling
Mm-hmm.
that have been just fabulous. And when I had my children,
Yeah.
I loved my children. I mean, I loved them being young and babies, and those were really, really special times. I miss that. I miss their friends when they were growing up and people were at our house all the time.
We'd come in at night and there'd be bodies all over the floor, on the pool table, under the pool table. Oh, we bought the pool table from one of the neighbors who had it in his chicken house. It did not have a slate table, by the way.
Oh, but it worked. They could sleep on it, under it, around it. Yeah.
I've tried to move a slate one before, and it's no.
Didn't know about that.
Who in the house did most of the cooking?
Oh, me.
Okay, and so what were the meals and dishes that became the family favorites?
Usually whatever I cooked. Yeah,
Nice.
they liked pretty much everything. And with boys, they eat a lot. And David, he'll
I
eat
can run them
anything.
out with banana pancakes.
And no banana pancakes. Anyway,
Ripe bananas. You
we
mix
used
them
to have, of course, breakfast, and the boys, one of our boys, we were just too close for our boys to ride the school bus to the Morgan Mill School. So one of them wanted to ride so bad. He wanted to ride the bus. So he was bribing, this is a little kid, third grade, so he would bribe the driver to come by
Mary
and stop
Quarles.
at our, Mary Quarles would stop at our house. So he would take her part of his breakfast so he got to ride. But anyway, we had pancakes, eggs, bacon, we had fruit, we had oatmeal, we had everything. And then lunches, oh, I couldn't beat the Morgan Mill School for lunches. I will tell you right now. They had good lunches. And then dinner was whatever I cooked.
Would there be anything when the boys went off to say college or started families, when they come back, if they requested something?
Oh, they call me for recipes now.
Yeah.
They call me for recipes. I've got a chocolate cake recipe that is most of the time, it's always my oldest son's birthday cake. I make birthday cakes. They get their favorite birthday cake.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister and my brother got their favorite birthday, big deal birthday. In fact, I just made a birthday cake this last weekend for my oldest son's girlfriend that I'd only met 2 or 3 times. So anyway, they call me for, oh gosh, salad recipes. They call me for, and my boys can cook, my boys can wash, my boys can clean house, they can do outside activities, and it's a good thing because their wives can't most of the time. They're not taught. And so I never wanted my boys to marry because they needed help with housekeeping or cooking or whatever. They know how to do that. And the curse has been the girls don't, so they end up doing it.
Right. What's been the what's the story behind the Italian cream cake recipe that you shared with us?
Well, that was my mother's.
Okay.
And I have given that to them. In fact, one of the requests is for me to make a cookbook to hand down to my boys of the favorite recipes, mine and theirs. And that was one of my mom's. And in fact, it says on the card, Mom's Cook, it is her cake mix. I have several of hers. I have several from St. Luke's. We used to have Mexican suppers, and we had tasting teas, and so I have a lot of favorite recipes from other people too. That became mine also. So that's just one of my mother's. It's easy. It's everybody always loves it, and like 5 ingredients.
When would that one get made? Was there a special time when it would get made?
Anytime I want to. Still, and they love it. But the birthday cakes are the big deal. You tell me your birthday cake, and that's what I have.
Right.
So my sister likes a pistachio, my brother liked a cobbler, and David likes whatever I cook.
Do you recall? Was your mom teaching you these recipes?
No, I never wanted to cook at home.
Okay.
No Susie homemaker for me, never. I was not ever going to do that. But I ended up liking to cook, but I don't want to cook anymore. So that recipe is an easy one, and I can do it.
Mm-hmm. And so you just collected these recipes and then made them whenever you felt like you wanted to make them.
Except birthday cakes. Everybody always got their favorite birthday cake.
Right.
Everybody, all my guys like meat, so
Yeah.
lots of meat.
Is there you shared with us a sweet dish? Is there a particular savory dish that if you had to name one, would be the favorite of either David or your son?
Chili recipe's good.
Yeah, the chili recipe. My oldest son, I buy ribs for him to cook. He's a really good cook. All the boys can cook, and they really enjoy cooking. They do, and they're, like I say, really good cooks.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I hope that they appreciated what I cooked, and became interested in it.
And are y'all grandparents?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have 3 grandsons.
What are you
no
cooking
girls.
for the grandsons?
Ooh, whatever they want.
And what
Whatever
do
they want. Well, I just made a pistachio cake for my oldest grandson, And the others like the chocolate one, and those are pretty much fine. They all like banana pudding, you know, and whatever they want.
Sure, sure. So, I've asked this question as we get to the last section of our time. It's like, what makes Erath County special to y'all?
For me, and I've been all over the place. And it's just home, you know, just home. The people are people that I associate with. We have a lot of the same likes, dislikes, respects, this sort of thing. And it's just home.
It is home now. There was some questions about living here, you know, in adapting to living here, and recommendations for other families that want to live here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from my standpoint, there are things you should know before you move here if you've lived other places. Number one, live other places. Travel other places, see what everybody else does. When I moved here, we are still a food desert. You cannot get things here that you need sometimes to cook your recipe. You have to go out of town.
Mm-hmm.
I remember moving here, and you have to go out of town to buy shoes. You have to go out of town to buy, there are so many things Stephenville doesn't have. Their medical staffs, the people that are here are good, but if you need a specialty, you're going to have to go to Fort Worth. So you need to know those things. You need to look up the condition of the schools. You need to look up what's available, what's not. We have every fast food thing in the world because of the college.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have maybe 2 places that you could call cuisine, where you could get something different to eat, you know, and expose yourself to other things. Our travel has helped a lot. It's worth it to live here, but you really need to know what all Stephenville and Erath County doesn't have.
Do you think that people who grew up here, raise their families here, come back here, or tend to move somewhere else? Where do you think Stephenville is in that?
I think a lot of them come back here if their jobs allow it. A lot of them don't. And as for women, if their husband moves here, of course they come. And my plan was never I came back here to get the teaching certificate, not to live. And so my mother said, when I said I was going to get married, she said, "Are you sure? You sure do get bored easy." So I was, "Oh yeah, Mom, but I love him." You know, well, sometimes that's not enough. But you should tell you're asking me to marry you.
I can't, but I can't do it and have it recorded.
Oh, you can't have it recorded. What my dad said.
No, he was very honest.
Oh. Well, we'll have to do that one on camera then.
Yeah.
I was forewarned. I can tell you that right
Yeah,
now.
sure. Well, I'm glad you talked about those questions because, you know, the advice that you give others is great place to live, but live other places and know what Stephenville
Need to know
has
what's
and-
out there, because if you do, then you can make a good informed decision.
Mhm.
If you haven't, then you're always looking to the other side of that mountain and saying, "Gee, I'll bet it's better over there." Maybe it is, maybe it ain't.
Mhm.
You know.
And David lived around too. He lived in Germany, and he'd been in the Army and traveled, and then all the traveling we did really opened doors that wouldn't have been doors like a lot of people in Stephenville.
No, I
There
got to
were
see
ki-
Southeast Asia too.
Well, there were kids in Morgan Mill School with my boys that never been out of Erath County.
Yeah.
And you're going, what? My youngest son, after when he graduated from the Morgan Mill School, they always take a trip. And the trip was that year, it had to be educational. So they went to Austin, and they wanted to tour the house,
Governor's
the
house.
governor's mansion, and they couldn't get an appointment. He said, "Well, here, let me call Barbara," because he knew Barbara Bush because he'd been to camp.
The little girl. They
For
went to camp
many
together.
years. He taught her to two-step. So he called, and Barbara got him an appointment, and they went to the governor's mansion. So it's important for your kids. I would drive mine to Fort Worth to museum school, you know, in the summertime. And I had another lady that we'd take her. Well, I'd take them one day, she'd take them there. But they need to get out of here and see other things. They need, you know, and not have their world tiny.
And your kids traveled in the RVs and the campers and
Oh yeah, and studied abroad, and you know, all kind of stuff. We made as many opportunities for them to make good decisions in their lives, I think.
What do you hope people remember about the Kincannons?
I think that we were pleasant and fun.
I hope they left it better than they found it.
Yeah.
Right. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that y'all like to share other than that one story that needs to be off camera?
Well, no. I after living here this many years, it is home. And we are going to be cremated, and I want my ashes 5 different places because I have 5 special places that I've enjoyed. One's in Colorado, one's in New Mexico, and the other 3 are 1 in Morgan Mill and 2 in Stephenville.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the 5 places I've enjoyed the most.
And when you're talking about areas of town,
No, my church in Tarleton, but don't tell them.
I won't. Except I thought it was like your favorite restaurants or something.
No. My ashes.
Right. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to talk about, David?
Nothing that we can put on the camera.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you both for the time
Thank
today.
you.
Looking forward to hopefully getting to know you all a little bit more. And I appreciate you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.